episode number 2 of Q&A with Dr. Zen. Just in case you don't understand my lingo, g'day is hello in Australian and lingo means language. Thank you to everyone who posted a question last week and to all the friendly replies I received. As a way of saying thank you to everyone who did watch, I will be answering everyone's questions from Q&A number 1. I won't be able to do this every week because it takes too much time, but I will always try to write a quick reply to everyone who is not featured in the Q&A. The first topic today is about closed captions and subtitles for my YouTube videos, and then I will answer all your questions. So viewers from around the world watch this channel from all different countries, which means a lot of people do not speak English as their first language. So to make it easier for non-English speakers, I will be including closed captions and English subtitles for all new videos from this moment onward. Longer videos will take a few days before the captions are uploaded into the new videos. The biggest problem I have with English subtitles on YouTube is that the Google computer system can't understand my Australian accent properly. So if you try to use the auto translate feature on my videos, the words that appear are absolutely ridiculous and completely useless. Now, if you like to smoke weed, you may find this quite an amusing way to entertain yourself, however you won't learn much at all. What this all means is that I have to type up a transcript myself and upload it for each new video. If you don't speak English, you will be able to use the auto translate function and set it to your language. When Google's auto translate services uses my accurate English transcript for the video, it should mean that you will see a pretty good translation into your own language. So let's jump on the computer real quickly and I'll show you some of the auto translate controls, and then we'll get into the questions. Okay, so if any of my videos have closed captions, that little box should be there. Press it to turn on. Hit the cog, and so I've uploaded English translations for everything. Now if you live in another country, select auto translate, select your country, so let's say German, and that's it. You can now watch subtitles in your own language, and because I am doing transcripts exactly what I said, the auto translate should work pretty good. Okay, question time. So the first question is from Mighty Mookie, who asks, I have Vegas Movie Studio 13 Platinum on Steam. How relevant is it if I were to upload simple YouTube videos that are mainly video game footage? Well, if you're asking, is Vegas Movie Studio 13 Platinum on Steam good for editing simple gaming videos, then the answer is definitely yes. However, if you have not bought the program just yet, I would wait until Vegas Movie Studio 14 Platinum is released this week. Version 14 will be a big improvement over 13 because the user interface has been redesigned to look more like Vegas Pro and has more tools on the timeline. There is also another important thing to be aware of if you are thinking about buying the Steam version of Vegas Movie Studio or Vegas Pro. The Steam versions do not have all the same features as the full versions direct from Magix do. Steam versions do not come with DVD Architect. Also, you can't open more than one instance of Vegas at the same time with Steam. With the full version, you can open different projects at the same time in different program windows. This gives you the ability to copy and paste from one project into another. I actually do this quite a lot myself, and it saves a lot of time while editing. Okay, next question is from Weejomon P2. Is there a way to auto-tune in Movie Studio without downloading something from the internet? No. And also, is there a way to remove background from something to make it appear as if it was originally recorded in green screen and you add the green screen yourself? that's a no for that question as well. There are easy ways to do things and ridiculously difficult ways to do things. Achieving a good looking green screen effect is difficult enough when using the right equipment, but impossible if you don't have a basic setup with good lighting. To cut out the background behind me, like right now, would require a masking tool, which is only available in Vegas Pro. Even if you could neatly cut out the background to remove it, you're gonna lose it when the person starts moving around, and it will look really terrible. You can buy cheap green screen cloths on eBay. You'll also need some lights. If you don't have Vegas Pro, you can get access to a free masking tool in HitFilm Express, which is completely free to download and keep for your life. There is also an excellent HitFilm channel on YouTube with plenty of tutorials to get you started. So amongst all the comments people have been posting, there are quite a few tutorial requests. Jim Graham asked, "Great to see you back in action, Derek. I don't have a question about a specific issue, but I would really like to see some tutorials about SoundForge that are as comprehensive as all the tutorials you've made for the video side of things." So my future tutorial list has become massive due to the last 12 months of not doing much. So I have a big backlog of videos to make. However, I am definitely planning some beginner's guide tutorials on things like SoundForge. I should get there within the next couple of months, so hang in there. Another tutorial request comes from a little older. I would like to see a tutorial on how to do a nice snappy intro in Vegas Pro. Maybe with NewBlue Titler Pro 3, as I'm sure most Vegas Pro 14 users have also purchased the Suite version. This is a very common request I have been receiving for years. Everyone wants to learn how to create a cool video intro. This is most definitely on the to-do list, and I have already been thinking about this topic, so just hang in there. It'll come soon. Bin Burr and DK Creative DSLR Video have asked a very similar question. Welcome back and thank you for the reboot. Question: how to deal with manage multiple frame rate clips in one project? 60 FPS, 120 FPS, 24 FPS? Okay, so this is another very common question. Technically speaking, you can mix different frame rates in the same Vegas project. However, the reality is somewhat different. If you get too many different frame rates not matching in your settings, you can end up with jumpy looking videos that looks like it's skipping frames or flashing. For the best quality video, it is better to stick to videos that use multiples of the same base frame rate. An example would be mixing 120, 60 and 30 FPS in the same project. 120 and 60 FPS video can be slowed down to create really smooth slow motion effects that bring the final frame rate back to 30 FPS. Because all the frame rates are multiples of each other, there are no skipped frames. Another rule to remember is that it is better to render at the lowest frame rate if you have a mixture of 60 FPS and 30 FPS video. When you do the opposite and try to render 30 FPS video into 60 FPS video, Vegas has to create 30 fake frames to fill the gap. In some situations, this can end up looking terrible, so it's better to throw away frames than create fake frames. Okay, next question is from Beast02. Will Sony Movie Studio 14 be a brand new thing you have to buy or an update to Movie Studio 13? Okay, so if you already own an older version of Movie Studio, you will qualify for discounted upgrade pricing and won't have to pay full price. There is a special update app hidden in the support pages at Magix where you can enter your current serial number and you'll be offered a discount. I have the upgrade link posted in the description below and also on the Movie Studio website. Beast02 also asked, how do I remove feedback from my videos? It's pretty quiet, but I'd like to remove it. Are you talking about background noise? If this is what you mean, personally, I use the noise reduction filter in SoundForge Pro. when you record your videos, make sure to record about 10 seconds of silence so that you have a sample of the ambient noise. Using the noise reduction filter, you first record a noise print, which then is subtracted from the entire recording. I think Audacity actually has a similar tool you can use for free, so check that out. While we're talking about upgrade pricing, RF2667 asks me this. Hi Derek, just wanted to let you know that I missed out on upgrading to Vegas Pro Edit 14 because of your review concerning the AC3 issue. Any Movie Studio owner can still upgrade to Vegas Pro 14 Edit, Vegas Pro 14 or Vegas Pro 14 Suite for half the retail price. Just go to the link below, select the version of Vegas Pro you're interested in, and then enter your current Movie Studio serial number into the box. In the next window, press the blue button and you'll be offered a really good discount. Jeff Sibelius asks, hi Derek, good to see you back. My question is about DVD Architect. Is there any way to produce Blu-ray DVDs with the Sony Vegas system? I'm using Vegas Pro 13, but my DVD Architect came with an earlier version of Movie Studio, I think. Well, if you actually own Vegas Pro 13 and not Vegas Pro 13 Edit, you should have also received a copy of DVD Architect Pro. You can also make Blu-ray discs with DVD Architect Studio, which is what used to come with Vegas Movie Studio Platinum. If you bought the download version, did you keep the email that contains your serial activation numbers for Vegas and DVD Architect? If you can find your DVD Architect serial code, you can download DVD Architect from the Sony archive, and I'll place the link below for you. Video Workbench Productions asks, glad to see you back, Master Zen. I would like to know where you suggest I go for free or to purchase transition and effect plugins for Sony Vegas Pro 13. Well, there are no free transitions or effects worth getting anywhere, but there are plenty of different third-party software makers for Vegas if you have some money to spend. I'm actually planning to write an in-depth article about this soon, but for now you can check out Pixelan, New Blue Effects, Boris Effects, ProDad, Neat Video, and Red Giant Software. If anyone has any more suggestions, please post them below. Chesterfield44 asks, glad you're back, Derek. Thank you. I have Vegas Platinum HD and a 21-inch monitor, but the text and icons are so small I can't use the software. Is there a way to make text bigger? Well, no, not really. Vegas uses your Windows fonts, so you would have to change all of your Windows settings. Changing the Windows font sizes can cause problems of text being cut off, so I would not recommend it. You would be better to set the monitor at a lower resolution if you're having trouble seeing the screen. However, the program may then appear blurry. Pop FPF asks, a few months ago on your forum, you mentioned using Handbrake as a good choice to convert HT to SD video. In your reply, you said you might do a tutorial on how to use Handbrake. Are you still planning on the tutorial, or have you found something easier, better to use? So yes, this tutorial will be coming very soon, I promise. It is a big tutorial to create because there are many technical steps in using Handbrake successfully. Once I get past the release of Vegas Movie Studio 14, this will be at the top of my list, guaranteed. Ken444444 asks, I would like to see some tutorials on making better looking professional titles and other graphic embellishments to text on the screen in Platinum 13. Yes, this is on the future tutorial list. Coriolis Effect asks, what are the best codecs to use for 1080, 60p and 4K video? And New Blue Titan Pro 3 is included, but I find it a little daunting, and so far have only done really basic things with it. Spinning, 3D font, more or less, but would like to see some tutorials to get a bit more out of that included package. So Sony XAVC is the best format to use for 4K video because it encodes at a higher bitrate. However, you can also use Handbrake and encode to H.264. I will be talking more about this when the Handbrake tutorial is released. DK Creative DSLR Video asks, by the way, good quality video, nice and sharp. What camera are you using and what are your render settings on Sony Vegas Pro? Cheers. Well, I'm using a Sony a7S because I love shooting in natural light and at night time. For those of you who don't know, the a7S cameras are very powerful in low light environments and also record to the Sony XAVC format. My face-to-face videos are also recorded at 50 FPS, which definitely adds some extra clarity. I rendered to the default main concept AVC Internet 1080p template and set the profile to high. Well, that's it for this week. That was intense. Remember, if you are a Movie Studio user, keep an eye out for the release of Vegas Movie Studio Platinum 14 this week. I will be publishing a full review once it's released, and I hope that most of you appreciate the new direction it is headed in. I can tell you that I have had a sneak peek of version 14, and the big buttons from version 13 are gone. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.